Good morning, everybody. Welcome to GBTV Kids Edition. I am here with our special guest, Miss Nikki, and yes, we have Miss Nikki's special guest, Ridley, who is in a shell because I heard he tried to eat Nikki's shoe, but we'll talk about that later.
We sure will.
Good morning, Miss Nikki. What kind of special books are we going to talk about today?
Good morning. Well, we'll leave Riley in a shell for a few minutes because, he's being grumpy today. So I wanted to highlight a few special collections that some folks might not know about. Like, for example, Miss Elda, did you know that the library has kids magazines?
Really?
Yeah, so we have really cool magazines, lots of different subscriptions. One of my favorite is National Geographic Kids. And this is really cool because it's geared towards kindergarten through third graders. They have some great articles in there. They have some fun puzzles and all kinds of stuff. And it's a great way to start introducing your kiddos to some nonfiction without it being too heavy or long. And also some really colorful images for school projects, those posters, things like that. So it's really, really fun and engaging.
Okay, so my question for you is, when I come to check out a kids magazine, can adults check them out as well?
Don't tell them. Don't spread that around.
So when you bring your kids in to check out the magazines, is it the same as a book checkout? Same
It
amount
is.
of time?
It absolutely is. You can even put holds on them. Can you believe that?
Wow.
I know. So we do have National Geographic Kids, but we also have other ones to check out. So we have like Scout Life, we have Highlights, we have tons of different ones to kind of explore and see what suits your fancy. So definitely check them out. They're kind of hidden. We keep it a little bit of a mystery for you. No, I'm just teasing.
Oh,
They're right next to the new nonfiction shelf. So they're hanging on a wall so you can kind of get a good view of all the different issues that we have.
Okay, and most issues renew monthly?
It depends on the subscription.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like when they check them out?
Well, not when they check them out, yes and no, but I mean most magazines there's a new one every month. So
although some do go quarterly. So
Okay.
some of them might have more issues, some might have, fewer issues depending on how many they come out
Okay,
with.
well that's exciting.
I know, right?
I love
Very
magazines.
cool.
Who doesn't like magazines?
I mean, there's some really good ones. There's some Mad Libs in here, some search and find. So they're pretty fun, I will
Well,
say.
thank you for sharing that with us.
So speaking of, we're going back to school. We're talking about trends, stuff that's interesting. Did you hear about the big loss in the soccer world?
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, me and Ridley were crying in a shell the other day. We were so upset. But we have such a fantastic team, and it has such a cool history. And you can explore that history in a series called What is the Women's World Cup? And I wanted to show you guys this book because this is part of a series called the HQ series, or the Who Is, Who Was, What Is, What Was, and Where Is, Where Was series. So all of the W's in there, right? All those W questions. So it's a really cool series for your early elementary folks and even the middle grades for pop culture, history, all kinds of things. They're great, again, for school projects or just to get your kiddos interested in something that they might like. We have Selena Gomez, Princess Diana. We have the Taj Mahal. Where is the North Pole? They're great reads. They're not super long. They have some pictures, but they're not quite at the graphic novel level. So they're a really cool book that has, lots of different tidbits of great information. In this one, it talks all about the history of the World Cup. For example, did you know that the World Cup for women didn't actually start until the 90s?
Yeah, that's not surprising, but good to know.
Right, and that was after a whole lot of fighting to get women included in soccer in the first place.
So that being said, look at the accomplishment.
Exactly.
We might not have won, but we got there.
We might have lost the battle, but we won the war.
That's right. That's right.
So there's lots of good history and maybe even some tips in here. For example, are you ready for a true false on us? True or false? Brazilian forward Marta holds the record for most goals scored in Women's World Cup history. Is it true or false? I'm going to read you 3. Over 1 billion people tuned in to watch the 2019 tournament. True or false? Or the United States has won the tournament a record-breaking 4 times. True or false? Which ones do you think are true?
Well, I think B is true.
Over 1 billion people tuned in to watch the 2019 tournament. Yes, that's true.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, you get to pick the other ones.
I do know the answer, and they're all true because it's all about women in soccer right now, and they sure did make a great accomplishment. So it's really cool to read a little bit more about that and to read all about the different things that you're interested in. With this really cool series, we even have dedicated shelves for it. So come on in and look for the HQ headquarters.
Okay, so all the HQ headquarter books are all in the same area? Because I know
Exactly.
just from my own experience, like when I used to come to the library for resources when I was teaching, there's great who is books on artists.
There is,
And
absolutely.
like Women's History Month, whatever. So we can find those all in the same location.
You absolutely can.
Excellent.
Again, right near the magazines, right near the new nonfiction shelf. They're all going to be there. So take a look in that area because you're going to have some great finds.
And tell me again, I know you mentioned, but what age group?
Sure. So it's really going to be those early to middle elementary grades. So kindergarten up through third, but even if your fourth and fifth graders like it, you can do that as well. It's a great kind of introduction, a high interest, even if it's a lower reading level for some of those older kids who are still struggling a little bit or trying so hard. So it's for everybody. You know what? I read them too. So.
Well, thank you. They're really great books.
They are really cool, and they're growing constantly. We get new ones pretty much every 3 or 4 months or so.
All right, well, we'll look for the next new one.
All right. Well, you know what I think it's time for? I think it's time to wake up our friend.
I think so, too.
I think he's kind of out of his grumpiness. Ridley, it's time to wake up. There you are. Say hi to the folks at home. And don't forget Miss Elda.
Hi, Ridley. Good
Oh, he
morning.
wants to give you a kiss.
Oh, I got it. Thank you, Ridley. I bet you he likes this book.
He does. We picked this last one because pretty soon Ninja Turtles are wrapping up. Summer reading is wrapping up. You have just about a week, a little bit longer, to finish summer reading. You have until school starts, and the prize drawing is next Friday. So if you haven't come in and finished and got all those coupons and your amazing book, make sure to come into your local library location and finish your summer reading. You can do it on your paper log if you haven't filled it out yet. We backdated all the way to May 15th. So it's still not too late. You can get in right under that wire. Yes.
Okay, I think Ridley, you like that idea, don't you?
He really does. He really does. He says we want to reach 3 million minutes. We're almost there. We're at about 2.7 million.
All right, come
So
on, folks
he's
at
telling
home.
you, get us to 3 million.
If you haven't, finish those logs and bring them on in.
And if you still need one last book to read, he wants you to know that this is the book for you. It's called Yoshi and the Ocean, and it's another nonfiction, but it's an illustrated nonfiction book, and this one is all about a true real-life turtle in the 1990s who was found with a damaged shell by some Japanese fishermen off the coast of South Africa.
Wow.
And so he was for 20 years in an aquarium in South Africa in Cape Town. And they were studying him and helping him recover. But, you know, he just couldn't be contained, just like our kiddos out there, you know? They can't just have one book or 2 books. They have to be able to read lots of things. That's why we have libraries. So, Yoshi, they decided to set him free into the ocean, but they put a tracker tag on him to see where he would go.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you where he ends up, but let me just give you 2 clues. Yes, it's very exciting. Wait, what is that, Ridley? Ridley wants me to tell you that Yoshi was his BFF, so definitely check out this book. And he wants me to tell you that Yoshi swam 25,000 miles from South Africa to an entirely different continent.
Wow.
So you'll have to check out the book to see where Yoshi ends up and how it all happens. So definitely check this one out because you can learn a little bit more cool facts about turtles.
Well, that was a really great book recommendation. Good job.
Absolutely.
Good job.
And
there.
there's one, wait, what? All right, so this is actually a Battle of the Books books. This is one of our books featured in our Battle of the Books, and that's for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders here in U46 schools and private schools around the area. So if you're in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, check and see if your school has a one of the Gail Borden Battle of the Books programs, and it is a competition where kids read anywhere from 40 to 60 books, and they compete in a big trivia match. And it happens throughout the year. And then at the end, we have a big party, we have an author, and all sorts of stuff. And here's the most exciting thing that Ridley wants me to tell you. This is the 50th anniversary. So we've been doing this for 50 years. And teams who participate have lots of fun. They get to read together and practice together and answer really, really fun questions together. So this is one of those books. You get a sneak peek of that. So please, if you're in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, think about joining your Battle of the Books team this year for the 50th anniversary. It's going to be a big one.
Well, thank you, Ridley, for pointing that book out to us. It must be a great program if it's been around for 50 years. So if you haven't done BOB, now's the time to do it. That being said, we have other BOB books here as well to check out?
We do. We have a whole
Okay.
section of BOB books, and we do have a little over 50 this year. They're fiction, nonfiction, and picture books. So a whole slew to find the books that work best for you and what you like to read.
Okay,
So you don't have to read all 50. You get to split it with your group.
So if I wanted to finish up summer reading, I could check out that book
sure
and get
could.
a jump start on BOB and finish my summer reading. I think you are one smart turtle there. No wonder he's your best friend.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Except for when you try to eat my shoes.
Yeah, that's not good.
Eat
But
her shoes.
okay. Well, as much fun as that sounds like, thank you, Miss Nikki, for being our special host.
Thank
These
you
are
for
great
having us.
magazines, the Who Is, What Is, There Is, How To series, and some BOB books. So thank you very much. Finish your summer reading and look forward to next month.
Excellent. Sounds good. I'll see you then. Thanks
All
for
right.
having us.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.